When asked to identify the multiple victims of his sexual addiction, Russell Brand once said, "I feel like Saddam Hussein trying to pick out individual Kurds." He also joked that if you say sorry you can rape and murder as many people as you like, after performing in a play where one character rapes and murders another, but because he felt guilty about it in the afterlife he was basically let off. Many of the passages in Brand's two self-penned autobiographies, My Book Ewok, published in 2007, and My Book Ewok 2, which followed in 2010, shed disturbing light on Brand's promiscuity and pursuit of women. But his lewd and out-of-control behavior, as described in the books, stops short of the serious claims made against him this weekend by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's Dispatches, which he denies. Instead, he paints himself as an out-of-control sex addict and egotist whose predatory behavior causes distress to those around him. Most concerning to Brand is when it threatens his career. This led him to seek sex addiction treatment in 2005. He wrote in My Book Ewok, "I didn't want to go to that sexual treatment center, but all the do-gooders. They all insisted, and I kind of agreed. Just to shut everyone up, really, and for the same reason I gave up drink and drugs, because my ambition is the most powerful force within me, so once people convinced me that my sexual behavior might become damaging to my career, I found it easier to think of it as a flaw that needed to be remedied." He wrote in his diary while he was there, "Had to write a victims list, a litany of the women I've wronged as a result of my sexual addiction. I feel like Saddam Hussein trying to pick out individual Kurds." The comment about Iraqi dictator Hussein and Kurdish people is an apparent reference to the infamous 1988 Ansal campaign by Iraqi troops against the minority Kurds, in which between 50,000 and 100,000 people are thought to have died, many of them civilians. The first book covers his life up to the point where he became famous. In it he admitted that he would molest fellow pupils at school. He wrote, "Another dubious attention-seeking device that I invented at this school was the game genital grabbing, which is very simple and easy to play but fraught with dreadful connotations for its participants and severe vilification for its unwitting inventor. Video loading, video unavailable, click to play, tap to play, the video will autoplay soon, 8 cancel play now. At that time, I didn't think of this activity as sexual, but it does seem a little odd that this would be the kind of social tool that I would manufacture, going up to people and grabbing their winkies or vaginas." One particularly shocking passage from My Book Ewok describes how his father took him to Thailand at the age 16 and paid for him to have sex with prostitutes. "When I came back, I was much more comfortable around women, sure in the knowledge that I had come back a man. I still didn't become utterly confident, but it had hardened me. And my sexuality had morphed forever from bewildered innocence into something more complex and rapacious." He casually compared pressuring women for sex to asking his parents for a pet. "In a way, having to lobby so relentlessly to secure a pet set me in good stead in later life when seducing pious women. Please take your bra off. Please. Can I see your bottom? Oh, go on." By puberty I had learned that nothing worth having could be easily attained and that to succeed one must be single-minded. By my 20s I would relish the challenge of chaste maids and the search for the correct combination of words required to decode their moral resistance. Jumping through hoops, ducking questions, feigning indifference to sex. "I'm not bothered about sex, we can just cuddle. The obstacle course, I call it." He added, "Now if I want something, whether it's a job or a woman, I will determinedly, resolutely, remove anything that's in the way, until I possess the object of my desire." He also joked about an early play he performed in. Mike played Adam, who had raped and murdered Claudine's character. But because he felt guilty about it in the afterlife, he was basically let off. So there was quite a powerful message. If you say sorry, you can rape and murder as many people as you like. There are countless episodes where Brand describes pestering women, often without any invitation, for sex. He describes spitting in the face of one woman who slapped him for his appalling drug-addled behavior. In one moment of reflection, he writes about going to dinner with charm-monger Neil Strauss, whose book The Game is described by Brand as is the Quran of womanizers everywhere. He said, "This guide Neil penned on how to hoodwink girls into sex left me with mixed feelings. It's very well written, but is it right? That is the problem with the whole womanizing culture, it gets sleazier with every hour you age." You can never forget that on the horizon, bleaching his hair and popping a Viagra, awaits Peter Stringfellow. Russell Brand's representatives were contacted for comment.